Limbo is a puzzle platform game developed by a studio called Play Dead, and originally was published by Microsoft Game Studios for the Xbox 360, which is the platform I first experienced the game on when it released back in 2010. For this review, I played through the game again on the PlayStation 4. The game is on most platforms these days. Limbo is a very interesting game. It's pretty simple in its approach. The game is in 2D and you play a boy trying to find his sister. To do so, you'll have to progress through a bunch of environmental puzzles and face big threats. You can't fight, so you'll either run or interact with environments to help you survive. You can pull and push objects, climb walls and ropes, and overall explore as much as possible in the 2D environments. What really makes this game stand out is the style, atmosphere, and soundtrack. We have a black and white aesthetic with a slight film grain filter. It all looks great, especially with the type of environments the game has that really suits the black and white look. From the start of the game, you are just lying on the floor. You'll have to press a button to wake the boy up, starting your journey. You'll start off in a forest, which looks fantastic, very creepy with the long trees within the darkness. You'll have environments in the forefront that really make you feel like you are deep in the forest. And with the slow moving trees with grass within complete silence, you'll get a good feel of loneliness and tension. It's all really good. Having the boy have bright white eyes is a nice touch too. Gives him a unique look. All of it works really well together. Though you are seeing a depressing world and things you come across are horrible, the game's look still gives a beautiful vibe. Seeing the bright light off in the distance and little things like fireflies buzzing around give the game a bit of beauty within the darkness. The soundtrack is very silent at first. All you'll hear is your footsteps and sounds from the environments. But you'll have soundscape creep in when something big is happening, which brings us to the atmosphere. The atmosphere in this game is really good. Having this soundscape be so quiet does a great job to build tension, especially when you are seeing dead bodies and creatures throughout the environments. When you get close to some of the threats you'll face, like a massive spider, you'll have a static sound start to build up. The closer you are, the louder it is. Same goes for when you are being chased later on by a few locals. It all works really well to keep the tension up. This isn't a scary game, but it does a good job of making you feel a little tense with wondering what is coming next. Though this is a game I feel like loses a lot of its charm and tension once you've seen everything there is to offer. But it's still a good game to go back to after a while to experience the unique style of it. I do think the start of the game is the best with the atmosphere and threats. The spider is a big highlight, and seeing the bodies all over the place in water and hung up is very depressing and tense. But once you get out of the woods, the game doesn't hit those heights again with atmosphere. The puzzles do get cool though, with areas that have more machinery that you have to get past, and some unique areas like having to find your way through complete darkness with only a hanging light source, as well as a section where you play around with gravity. The puzzles are cool in the second half, but the atmosphere takes a dip. The spider is a real treat with the game. First coming across it on a tree, you'll have to use the traps laying around to your advantage. Then the spider goes after you later on for some revenge, almost achieving that by getting you stuck in a web and then wraps you up, but you are able to escape. Later on you'll get an upper hand and send the spider flying. Then you finish it off. The whole sequence of coming across the spider and then finishing it is a highlight of the game for me personally. Really well done. But overall, the puzzles in the game are good fun, getting harder and harder the more you go through the game. And they change a lot, keeping things fresh, like having traps, water and guns playing parts in trying to kill you while you solve the puzzles. This game does rely heavy on trial and error. If it's your first time playing, you'll definitely die a lot trying to work out what to do next. But once you have gone through the game a few times, it's very easy to remember what to do. In which way I think that goes into what takes away the charm from this game. Once you've gone through it a couple times, then you know how to do the traps and you already have seen what there is to offer with the atmosphere. I played through the game a bit when it released and I haven't touched it again until now, and I still remember a lot of the puzzles and what to do in general. So I would end up just racing through the game, and that kind of goes against the charm since it's all about the atmosphere and working out the puzzles. In terms of the story with the game, this is one of those games where each time you play you might take away a new perspective on the story. What I take from the game is you play a boy who has died. The word limbo means an uncertain period of awaiting a decision or resolution. You are playing this boy in the afterlife, working his way into heaven or to find peace. Throughout the whole game you are running towards a light. I think all the environments and threats you come across are traumas or fears for the boy. At the end of the game you smash through glass and meet a girl on the other side. I think the boy died in a car crash, which explains the glass, and the girl you come across might be a sister that could have died with you or is at your grave under the treehouse you two played in. There's a lot of theories out there. I like it how there's a lot to take in from the overall game on what it all means. Overall, this is a good game, and it's definitely up. I think people who haven't played the game should definitely give it a go. It's about 1 hour to complete, and the puzzles will keep your brain working. The platforming overall is good but simple. If you have played the game before, maybe give it another go. But like I mentioned, once you've been through the game a few times, there's really not any point playing it again, since you'll know how the puzzles work and what to expect, which takes away from what the game is. The gameplay of it isn't deep enough to just replay because of it. There is some collectibles in the form of eggs that can open up a new area of puzzles, but that's a one-time thing anyways too. It's experiencing the unknown which is so good with this game, and the trial and error. With that, thank you very much for watching. If this video served to entertain, be sure to like, share and subscribe.